Hello, everyone, and happy WikiTree Day to you. How are you, Flo?
Hi. Yeah, I'm a bit tired. It's a bit late here, but maybe we get some Australians or New Zealanders watching, and that's worth it, of course.
That's true, right? It's a new day down under. Yes, so Flo is joining us from Germany. So when I asked him to join, I think I originally said come at 7 o'clock tonight, but 7 o'clock tonight my time is what, past midnight for you, right?
That would have been a bit ugly, yeah.
Really bit ugly, yeah. So, anyways, welcome. I'm hoping everyone's having a great WikiTree day. There's been wonderful presentations all day long. The AI panel was just. I'm presuming it's ending. I don't know. I had to leave a few minutes early to come here, but we've been great presentations all day, and there's still a few more after this. But for right now, for this hour, we're spending time with Flo, and he's going to tell us all about the WikiTree B extension. And so you might be familiar with the WikiTree browser extension and the WikiTree Sorcerer extension, but the WikiTree B extension actually predated both of those, and is still in existence and has some really neat stuff. So, Flo, you want to take it away?
Let's do this. So B, in case you're wondering, I was also B stands for Browser Extension Extras. Was invented by Ian Beacall. I hope I pronounced him
I think
correct.
That's it. Yeah.
And yeah, he put a lot of really cool features in it. And then he joined the WikiTree browser extension. I think it was last Hacktoberfest.
That was, yeah. That's where
and since then, he moved a lot of features in the browser extension, but some features, mainly those that focus on sites other than WikiTree itself, are still in B. So it might still be a good idea to install B, because there are, as I said, some features you don't have in the browser extension at the moment, and maybe won't ever have. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah. So I'm basically, how do you say that? Sitting on the shoulders of a giant here. So Ian did, I don't know how tall he is, but he did a lot of really cool stuff here. And I joined, I don't know, half a year ago or something, because I kept bugging him, hey, can you add this site? And can you add this site? And at one point, we established that we both would be better off if I do it myself. And he has less time for more time for other cool features. Yeah, so that's how I ended up in B.
Yeah.
And here we are. So yeah, B is, like I said, a browser extension like WBE. And we support, basically we have two versions, the Chrome version and the Firefox version, where the Chrome version also supports all of the relatives of Chrome, let's call them like that, because they all are based on the Chromium engine from Google. So basically Edge and Vivaldi and Chromium and Opera all use the same in the background, the same technology. Therefore, they all also work with the Chrome extension. And we have the Firefox extension for a little bit diversity in the web, and for those people that don't want to throw all their data to Google too.
And there's a fair number that are very Google adverse. You know, they don't really want to trust Google if they can help it. So
yeah.
So that's good that you support Firefox.
Yeah,
but it doesn't support Safari or iOS, correct?
Unfortunately not. We support, there is Chrome on macOS that works, that we support, but Safari we don't support in neither version. And you can install other browsers to iOS, but those all use the Safari engine, and therefore no iOS for B at the moment. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Some of the features, mainly the citation features, I did bookmarklets for, which also would work on Safari. I guess we won't have time to cover them, but if you're interested in citations for the pages listed here under source citations, then feel free to reach out and I can give you some advice how to use those also as a iOS Safari user. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get it? Basically, we have this landing page here. I'm sure you can put it in the chat in case you didn't already.
I did put it in. I'll put it in again for those who have just joined us.
Super, thank you. And basically here on this page, you have Chrome, the link to the Chrome version and the link to the Firefox version. And for the brave ones of you, we also have a preview version, which is somewhere linked here, I guess. Let me see. So here in the section, we have the changelogs for the stable version and for the preview version, and we have the links for the preview version for Firefox and for Chrome. The preview version is the hot stuff, of course. There you have a lot of features that are maybe not fully tested or not ready to be released to the whole public, but might be nice to try out. And yeah, if you have any problems with those, feel free to post on this page or to reach out to Ian or me, and we will get you going.
Mm-hmm. So you mean if they have problems, they can just comment directly on this free space page?
Exactly. Or write a message as you wish, or tag us in Discord. We're pretty flexible.
Yeah, because you're both in Discord often, right?
Too often. Yeah.
Too often.
Okay. So what do we have? Bookmark. Let's see.
Okay. So what about the difference? So you talked about the WikiTree browser extension, and a lot of the stuff from here has gone over to there, so that it's no longer in B. So because that avoids having two icons at the same time that do the same thing. What about the sourcer, the WikiTree sourcer extension? How does that compare with B?
So we also do source citations, but let's say we're lazier than Rob and the sourcer, but faster. So sourcer is really awesome because when they implement a site, they implement it for search back and forth. So you can search from Find a Grave at Family Search, from Family Search in WikiTree, and from WikiTree to Find My Past or whatever, which is great, but of course takes Rob and his team, I think he got a little help meanwhile, I don't know, a lot of time. We only do basic citations, and those are pretty fast integrated. If the page is not too complex and provides all the information, and therefore we can provide them a bit faster.
Right. And the sourcer also does also has the option for doing a narrative as well, right? A 1 or 2 or 3 line description of the data that they found, and that takes a long time to craft as well. Because so you're more like
and figure out what kind of record is it? Is it a passenger list? So that means the person traveled in the text, and else the person was born, and so on. Of course, yeah, that's a lot of effort as well.
So thinking about passenger lists, that makes me think, so you're the tugboat who's really agile, and you can move fast, and you can add new sources, and Rob's sourcer is more like the ocean liner, which is really, a full service thing, but it takes a long time to steer sometimes. So
exactly, try to cross the ocean on a tugboat.
So
exactly. Okay. Let's see. Should we start with some examples? Let's start with a basic example. So we have Giuseppe Bertoli.
Giuseppe.
So since I figured you're from the Italy project, that might be a good starting point.
That's excellent.
And
bellissimo.
He was married in Victoria, Australia. So I thought we have Australians, and he died 1918, about age 83 in Boort, Victoria, Australia. So now it would be nice if we could find maybe a death announcement or something in the newspaper, right?
Would be.
So there is Trove, which is a cool Australian website which has all kinds of newspapers.
Oh.
And must admit, I've prepared a bit. And there is an obituary for Giuseppe Bertoli, who the scan is a lot better than the transcript is a lot better than the scan. So he was born in the canton of Ticino in Switzerland in the year 1836, being the eldest son of Professor Pedro Bertoli.
Oh, neat.
And we look here, okay.
It says unknown.
835, yeah, and here he passed away around 1980. And where is the place? Where are we here in the... We are also in Victoria, so maybe this is our guy, or actually very likely he is the guy. And yeah, so now we would go and copy and paste this newspaper name and so on and put it together to make it look nice. Or we click the B icon, which is up here. I don't know if the logo is in the way.
I moved the logo out of the way. I hit it now.
Thank you.
But I promise I'll put it back later.
And if you click that B button, if you don't have a B button, it might be hidden in the puzzle sign with the other extensions. Almost looks the same in Chrome as well. And we click the B button and we have a citation for this page.
Nice.
Which has here the newspaper name and the date and the page and cites Trove. So I'll take the liberty to insert this here in this profile. We have two options. There is the option to do it as an inline citation with this ref checkbox here, or we leave it, then it turns into a plain bullet list source citation. And in this case, I would just put it here as a source citation, and we edit sources and we commit changes, and we have ourselves a nicely formatted source which states Trove, the link, and yeah, the newspaper and everything.
Now, does that link go directly to this article, or does it just go back to the Trove website?
I would have expected it to go directly to that article. I'm a little surprised now that it doesn't.
Or is it hidden? Like if you click on that.
Ah, yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
See, yeah, exactly. It goes back.
So it says the main website, but it actually goes to the direct place.
Exactly. It has a lot of biography. It also has when he came over. So if some motivated Australian or somebody else wants to work on this profile, feel free. I put the link in the chat, but please wait until I'm done. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
That was Trove, for example. For the Canadians among us, we also have something else, but maybe let's take a look in general what we have here. So I'm back at the B page, and we have here feature source citations, and here we list what pages we support. And you see it's quite a diverse list with a lot of European countries mainly. Because Rob already covers all the big American sites. So we have here the birth, death, marriages from New South Wales. We have Trove. We have Canada, the New Brunswick Archives.
Yeah, so that's one of our provinces. Yeah.
Exactly. I think we also have your census tool somewhere, but maybe not on this list. So we also, I remember you wrote this tool to do source citations of the census.
Yes, the CCC.
And that we also support, and we link to your tool. So if you are on a Canadian census, which I don't have at hand right now, and you click the B button, you end up in Greg's tool and can build a nice citation.
Nice.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. The Antonati tool is there. I saw that listed under Italy.
Yes, exactly. That we also have here. And
Mhm.
we have a lot of German pages for obvious reasons. And we have a Czech archive here, a French one, Dutch, Norway, and it's a bit of UK because of Ian, I guess. We have the Daughters of the American Revolution, newspapers.com, and Fold 3. Fold 3, I wanted to show a bit because there Ian built a cool feature. So we're here on Fold 3. We have the biography of a guy that almost lived in the same house that my grandma was in the nursery home at, but then he didn't because she went to another nursery home. And here we can also do sources, but those don't look that pretty. But so those are memorials. Those are basically profiles at Fold 3. And if you click here on the Sources tab, you receive a new button that says Get Citations. And that button will get you all the citations for that profile. So a bit like Rob and the family search. And you can also add the data as table, or you can do it as inline references. And you can also customize the table a bit, and then you can copy the whole thing into a profile at WikiTree. But of course, you take a look at each of the sources if they are worth it taking over. But you have them already formatted.
Nice.
And this is for memorials in Fold 3. Like I said, for normal sources in Fold 3, you also have the normal citations. And Fold 3 is, for those who don't know it, it's focused on military data.
Right.
But not only American ones, they apparently also have data from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and UK. I also found a few Germans, like you saw, but
yes,
we're clearly out of focus.
Out of focus.
Okay, so what else do we have?
Yeah, and there'd be a lot of military records that are on Fold 3 that aren't anywhere else. So that's helpful.
Exactly. If somebody has archives, source websites that he or she or them are using frequently, then reach out to Ian and or me, and we'll see what we can do. If we can set you up citations for that website as well, because chances are somebody else might use that site as well. And like I said, it's not that much effort to integrate a new site, depending on the site. So feel free to reach out to have your site here in this list as well. If you are unsure if a site is supported by us, the B icon here will turn yellow once a site is supported. So even if the site is not listed here, if you have a yellow B and you are on some source website, the chances are you press the yellow B button and you're good.
Good to go.
Exactly, because if it's gray, then you might need to reach out to us.
Right.
Okay. What we also have, so this was the citation part. What we also have, not as equally cool as at Rob's, of course, is we can create profiles from some sources. So, but the difference is Rob Sourcer creates profiles from profiles at Family Search, for example, while we create profiles only from sources. So that one has to be aware of. Okay. So this is, for example, a source record here. It's the death of a relative. And if I now click the B here at Family Search, it will A present me the source code for a bullet source. If I press the ref button, I will have an inline source. And here is a table checkbox, which will also include a table with all the data. So in case the source is gone at one point, you still have all the index data in the profile, which I consider pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
And here would be an add unrelated person button where you can press go. And then it will start to add a person without family connection and pre-populate the data. So it takes the place from the source and the dates, and should have also included the source here. Well, if it doesn't include the source here, copy it from the B button. That's what it is for.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And if you do this in Chrome, you can also add a WikiTree ID and can connect the person you add. So you can add children, spouses, and so on. Yeah. So that would be the creation of profiles from B. What we also can do meanwhile, which is quite new, is that we can create categories from B.
Mm.
Which is quite neat because before I had that possibility, one always needed to insert all the source code for the category info box and copy this from here, this from there, and so on. And it was quite a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we can do that any better. Let's take a random cemetery from Find a Grave, like the Birmingham Baptist Church Cemetery, for example.
Okay.
In Fulton County, Georgia. And what B does, except creating categories, it also adds some tools here at the cemetery, which help to verify that the data of the cemetery is correct. Because we often have, or there are often, let's say, disputes about, is the cemetery in the city or in this county, or is it in the other county, and so on. And here you have OpenStreetMap links. You have the marker. When you click it, you will land in OpenStreetMap at exactly the point where the cemetery is, closely.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, the magnifier, does a query at OpenStreetMap for those coordinates. Which means, I'm sorry for the German UI, it will show the neighboring objects and the surrounding objects. And here, for example, you can see that the border of Milton is in the borders of Milton. So the cemetery definitely belongs to the city of Milton.
Okay.
And you don't need to copy and paste the coordinates there. And this plus also shows you the map on the WikiTree Plus maps.
Plus. Nice.
So you don't only have German text here, we also have Slovenian text here, just to be a little more international.
Excellent. That's great.
Okay, but now we want to create a cemetery category because we're pretty sure that the data on Find a Grave is correct, which it not is for every cemetery. So we click the B button and see what happens. So it created an edit view for the category Birmingham Baptist Church Cemetery, Milton, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And it populated here the whole info box already with the data from Find a Grave.
Okay. Now, can I ask before we go on, if the cemetery already existed, would B know about that?
Of course. So we have.
I'm sorry, I should have asked that question before we were right in the middle of creating.
All good. We have the Arlington National Cemetery. It's a rather unknown cemetery, so maybe it is there. I don't know.
It might be.
Let's see. So
few people are buried there.
Yeah, there are 1 or 2 gravestones visible.
1 or 2
there.
gravestones there, yeah.
Exactly. So we click it.
Ah.
And it says the category already exists. Please make sure you don't overwrite. And you get a diff here where you see what would change. Of course, B doesn't add as much information as was here. It doesn't add the website and stuff like that. It also might change the order a bit, where our order is the correct one because it's the order that Aleš dictates. Yeah. So
generally, you get like that, just
ID,
back away, right?
Exactly. Or you see, maybe you also land on a category that doesn't have a category info box yet. Then you might populate it with an info box, because we also have categories where it's just there's text. When this, now we were lucky because the name is the same. It might also be that the name differs. Let's see if I have an example. Maybe this. Yeah, this one was very entertaining. So we move a bit. We're in England now.
Okay, St. Cuthbert's, very nice.
And we click here, and it says, so we have here St. Cuthbert's without an apostrophe. And actually it says, but the category with an apostrophe contains the same ID from Find a Grave. Please make sure you're not creating a duplicate.
Okay.
And then we click here, and we see it has already 130 profiles, so it really existed. Oops.
So we don't want to.
Exactly.
Right.
But this is also pretty cool if you are not sure if there is a cemetery on WikiTree or not. You just try to create one, and it will tell you if there is one, even if the name differs, and you might not find it in the in the category picker.
That's good. Okay.
So
now we can go back to. Sorry, we can go back to the previously scheduled programming.
All good. Since we were in England, we have now the Birmingham Baptist Church Cemetery in Georgia. We look here, the parent category looks good with the cemeteries. This one is also green. If it's red, there might be a mistake in Find a Grave, or there might be a parent category missing.
You don't have to put USA in, or is it just assumed with the state?
Where?
Well, I'm just wondering, Georgia, like, you don't say Georgia, USA, the category. I guess, I mean, that's how.
No, those are only with the state. Those are not with Georgia, with USA at the end.
Okay.
So, yeah. And it takes.
I don't deal with many US categories, so that's why I just asked the question.
Yeah, sure. If you change your mind, you can also exit here.
Okay.
And if you find that we lack an apostrophe or something, so what we can do, we save here now, and we have the page created. And we have now a new cemetery, and of course, it's bad to create empty categories. We don't want to do that.
No.
Therefore, we will now hurry to find a profile that is buried here. For example, James Monroe Collette, who is buried at the Birmingham Baptist Church Cemetery in Fulton County, Georgia. This looks good.
Okay.
Short excursus. If you have, or wait, let's focus. Since we created this category just now, it won't show up in the category picker for until an hour.
Oh, yes, it takes a while for it to be update. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. But if you have WBE installed and you have the scissors feature enabled, which is on by default, you have these green thingies here, and there is a use. And if you click on the use, and you go to the profile and you edit the profile in your clipboard, magic, you have the category, including tags and everything to use it.
Excellent.
So we hit categorization, we do commit changes, and our Birmingham Baptist Church Cemetery in Milton, Georgia is a
And it has
valid
one
category
profile.
that has a profile. Yay.
Fantastic. So you could probably go through all his family, because there's likely more family members who are in that same.
Yeah, I would say we go on with the Australia pattern and just put it in the chat. And maybe there is a motivated WikiTree from Georgia or somewhere else that
That's
wants
right.
to.
Who can do that? Who can now fill up Birmingham?
Okay. So what else do we have?
Okay, that's
here?
nice.
Now one could ask if we are back at that St. Cuthbert's.
Mm-hmm.
Let's clean up a bit. We had this apostrophe problem, you remember.
Yes,
so we wanted to create St. Cuthbert's, and we're here with an without an apostrophe. We don't have this this existing category because we need an example, so please ignore this yellow box for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But here there is a button to change the name.
Oh, okay.
You know, normally you would now need to copy here the URL and paste it, make the change, copy the source code over, and so on. But here you can just change name, and I will just add 2 in order not to create complete chaos with the existing one. And then we are back at where we were. We still have our warning, but now the name would be St. Cuthbert's with 2 apostrophes.
Right.
And we have all the data still with us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. They're different cities, though. Do you see that? One's North Meals, or Meal. Maybe Hillary can tell us how we pronounce that properly. And the other one is Southport. They're both in Merseyside, but are they the same city or different names?
And one of them is wrong. And since the WikiTreeers are usually right, and since I have that thing in my browser history, it was one of the early English ones we created and discussed a lot where it actually belongs.
Right.
And it is the same. I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
And what is cool, you didn't save here. You just had the preview. You did change name, and you received a preview under a new name.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't create any category. There is no trash to be removed.
Okay.
From to be taken outside from us.
But do you want 2 apostrophes?
Or no, I don't want 2 apostrophes. I just wanted to show how we changed the name and.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And okay, but let's say somebody. No, we don't want this. Let's see, somebody actually didn't recognize that there was the apostrophe missing and created the category and put 50 profiles in it.
That's bad.
That would be a bit unfortunate.
Yes.
But we have help on our side. We have EditBot, which is a robot operated by Alej, which can transfer profiles from one category another, delete categories, and rename categories. And usually you control that one by inserting some template source code in the category. But meanwhile, there's also an easier way to do this. If you are using WBE, the browser extension, I'm not talking about B at this time because it's really the browser extension because we're at WikiTree here, and that feature is a part of the browser extension. There is a feature called category management.
Ooh, okay.
And you can scroll. You can. Maybe that apostrophe is a very good test case, so we might take another cemetery at this point. Or did I simply not activate it? That might also be the case. So it's in the browser extension under editing. There is category management.
And there's options under that too.
And there's options. And some are usually off by default. And there is add link to request deletion and add link to ask new name, edit new category and request renaming, and add link to copy and rename category. Those are all off by default. Please only enable them if you roughly know what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm a bit, here they are, of course. And these will add these links here at the bottom of the category. So still, we're not talking about B at the moment. We're a little off topic. We're at the browser extension, but these are rather neat, so I would like to mention them anyway. There is the batch categorize feature, which will enable you to select multiple profiles from a category and move them to a new one in batch.
Wow.
But it will ask, you can still see what you were doing.
Okay.
So there is no complete automatism. So I just pick some London category. Now I won't save, I promise.
Okay.
And I only save 2 profiles, but just for the sake of demonstration. And we have a catalog button here.
Catalog.
We selected here the category, and we want to move those 2 profiles we checked here into a new one. And we press the catalog button, and it opens those 2 profiles. It says here, adding All Hallows London Church, City of London, and removing the other category. It did this. So if we look at the...
It's at the top, I saw that.
Compare draft, then you see Boodle Cemetery was removed and All Hallows London Wall Church was inserted. And you can press save. And you also have a populated description that says exactly what you were doing. But like I promised, we won't save. So that was a little excursion. But what I was talking about are those 3 buttons.
So now you were moving from one cemetery category to another cemetery category.
For example.
As an example. But I see this add there. You could add them to a totally different type of
you can add them to any category. If you have a category about a district and you now have, or you had a category about a district and you have profiles and you have then village categories created, you can move them or block. So you see these 5 belong to that and move them. But what I wanted to show is those delete, rename, and copy and rename buttons.
Okay.
Which, if you press delete now, I will revert it afterwards. It will ask the reason for deletion. Flo is playing around on YouTube. You press OK, and it will automatically add this tag for the category bot to delete the category. And it also adds your signature and the reason. And now let's revert this very fast before somebody files an MIR against me.
Oh, Alesh is watching us. He's saying you're stealing EditBot's job.
No, because I just requested EditBot. So
because that's really what you're doing. Really is making work for EditBot.
Exactly.
Right?
I create work for EditBot.
You create work for EditBot. Yeah. So
I don't need to know the syntax. I don't need to know where in the dropdown I find this. I just press delete, enter my reason, and I'm done. And that also helps, of course, if you create it or if you find a cemetery category or something with the wrong name created.
Right. You can rename.
Same goes for rename. Then it requests the EditBot to move those in a new category. And copy and rename will just create a new category with the content of the old one without touching the old one. Okay, excursion done. Let's go back to B.
Okay, so all that was the WikiTree browser extension and the category management, which is not something that we actually covered in the 2 sessions with Murray earlier today. So I'm glad you brought that up because that was one little feature that, and it fits nicely with the B work there. So thank you for that, Flo.
You're welcome. And it's quite a niche feature, but if you find yourself in that niche, you're pretty lucky to have it, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So the cemeteries, at the moment, we support England, Germany, Italy, Scotland, and the US. Australia, Canada, and France are work in progress. Other countries will receive standard US categories or standard US structure, which might not fit. So if you want proper category info boxes for your cemetery in your country, please reach out. We make them look as you want to.
Right. So you work closely with the category people from each of those projects.
Exactly. And especially your Canada is very mean, I must admit, in terms of structure.
Canadians are nice.
Canadians are nice, but their administrative structure is so different in every province. Wow.
Oh, there is that. Yes.
But I also had Italy, so I'm used to a lot. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we wait in line a long time because we're so polite. We don't say hurry up.
So that's very kind of you. Yeah. Okay. So that's the cemeteries. Like I said, if you want your country to have nicer looking cemetery categories, please reach out. What you see is only the default, and you might not like the default. Please reach out. We can make it better. Okay, but we can not only do cemetery categories, we can also do location categories.
Oh, nice.
For a few countries. And for that, we use Wikipedia. So we have another random profile, Michael Zink.
Zink? Where's from Germany? Zink, then yeah, I think you'd say Zink.
Oh, he was also known as Zink. Yeah, nice.
There you go.
And he migrated from Baden-Württemberg, which was established in 1950 something. So that might get a bit tight, but I won't be picky now. But he lived in Roth in the district of Freudenstadt. But we don't have a location category. That's why he's currently in the category of Baden-Württemberg, which is which is our state. So it's very rough, very broad, yeah, very high level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now let's see if we can find a location category for him. So we want to add Roth, like I said, and we go to the category picker and we enter Roth, and we don't find anything. Let's see if the category picker works at all. Yeah, it does. It's just a bit slow, but there is no Roth. Okay, but hopefully there is a Wikipedia page about Roth. Since this is a place in Germany, we use the German Wikipedia, and there is Roth im Landkreis Freudenstadt in Baden-Württemberg. This sounds promising. So we go to that location category article, and this article describes this Roth in Landkreis Freudenstadt where he lived, and here we see it was Roth, Freudenstadt, Baden-Württemberg. So we might have the right place. And now, which is special for Germany, if the place is not independent anymore because it was incorporated at one point, like here it's ein Ortsteil von Loßburg, so it belongs to Loßburg. In fact, it's not. It was incorporated in the 70s, probably, like most smaller places. So you have to select the place it belongs to now, and you press the B button. And here it creates you a nice location category with the correct name. It populates here the parent. That's why we had to select it, else it would have taken the district.
Okay.
And the project, the Wikidata ID from Wikipedia, and it takes the coordinate. So, and if we save this now, we have ourselves a new German category. And we take the use button. in fact, we don't take the use, we have it open, we take the use button like we showed before, and we press categorization and commit changes, and our Michael Zink is in Rot. Unfortunately, he's also in Baden-Württemberg, but there I can show another feature of category management in WBE, because you might have seen those brackets here.
Ah, yes, plus minus, plus minus.
Exactly, and we want to get rid of Baden-Württemberg now because he has a more precise category, so we hit the minus. It opens the profile again in editing mode. It removed the Baden-Württemberg category. It's stated here that it did this, and we can just click commit changes, and the category is gone. And we have a nice entry here stating removing Baden-Württemberg, Germany.
Very nice.
Good.
Wow. And when you created that new one for Roth, is that category inside the Baden-Württemberg?
It's inside the Losburg category, and the Losburg category is inside the Freudenstadt category.
So it's all properly stacked and ordered. Nice, nice, nice.
Exactly. We're German, you know?
Oh, yes. Very, very structured. What was I thinking?
So, but you might not have German ancestors, and you might need other categories. Therefore, let's tell what we have. Here at the B page, it is listed what countries we support at the moment. So we support Germany, as you saw. We support Italy, but there you need the Italian Wikipedia for.
Okay.
So we can do maybe a very short demo if we have the city of Bari in the Italian Wikipedia, and we press the B. And here it says you need to copy the frazioni list because that's different, because it has a separate article. And now you will receive a new info box. Isabel did that one already, but anyway, you have here now the parents all for the in English and Italian. You have the regions team linked and everything. You're pretty good to go here. So we do Italian categories on Italian Wikipedia. We do Poland on the English Wikipedia.
Oh.
There we do both languages because they have a parallel hierarchy in English and Polish, and we generate both. We support United States. Parentheses currently without Louisiana.
Without Louisiana? Oh, because
without Louisiana, exactly. It would not be a lot of effort, but so far nobody slapped me for it, and I simply didn't do it. But if you want Louisiana categories, reach out to me. It's a matter of minutes. It's just, it slips all the time.
Right.
And we have Banat Bachka, which are two regions that used to belong to the Kingdom of Hungary, but were separated in 1921 between Hungary, Romania, and Serbia, or Yugoslavia back then. And there we have a category tree in German, English, and Hungarian, and Serbian or Romanian. And you can create categories for all of those languages in all of those Wikipedias.
Wow.
And same as before, if you missed your country in the list, reach out to me and hope it's not Canada. Just kidding. Now I also know how Canada works, and I also have a lot of code from the cemeteries one could reuse. So I would also do Canada.
You would. Nice.
Okay. Okay. Very short. If you are on an OpenStreetMap search result that has coordinates, so you search something and it has coordinates here, and you click the B icon, you receive a very basic category info box with at least the coordinates, but you can copy it already into the old way. But you have the coordinates formatted in the right way already. Same goes for any Wikipedia articles that are not supported explicitly. I mean the ones that I just stated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's move on with dessert, I guess.
Yes, we have a few minutes. We have some questions, but yeah, let's do a little bit of dessert before we get to the questions.
Okay, really cool niche features B delivers. For example, I will just mention them now. You can have your own list of place names. So if you're not happy with what Family Search delivers, there is a list of place names you have for yourself. You can save them. You can reuse them, and it's pretty cool. It's in the manual. It's an option, and enable it, play with it, or ask Ian or me how it works. Also, there is this nice button here at Family Search ID, which will get you to the page where you can connect the WikiTree profile to a Family Search ID.
That's nice.
And then it will show up here at the root search section. And last but not least, there is an option that will remind you in profiles that don't have categories if you don't want to add categories. It's very annoying, but that was what it was, how it was.
Oh, it's meant to be annoying.
Exactly.
Okay. I was wondering, when I turned on B the first time, I had this thing floating all the time in my face. What is this there? Now I understand.
You should have added categories. Then you would have gotten rid of it.
There we go, and then got rid of it. Yeah. Okay.
So do we have questions?
We do have some questions. So Alice asked, she said, I clicked adding the B. The B showed up for a few seconds and disappeared. Was that supposed to happen?
Sounds like a bug. Please reach out to me.
If you're on a site that B doesn't support, would it show up at all? It wouldn't show up at all, would it?
There are some rare cases where on supported sites exactly that happens.
Okay. So that might.
Yeah, like parishes in Louisiana or something like that no one has in mind. Yeah, please reach out, Alice. I'm sure we can fix it.
Okay. And now Alesh asks, why are some features staying in B? Well, the ones that are moved over to the browser extension, the WikiTree browser, the official one, get removed from B, so they shouldn't be duplication of features. And I guess the things that are in B are there because they are nowhere else.
Exactly.
Right.
And yeah, and basically we focus on things that are offsite, like that are not on the wiki, that don't change WikiTree itself. So yeah, but maybe one day we can unite all three browser extensions. Who knows?
Okay. Susie asked, could you add Wabdom, Cludum, and Vicdom, please? I suspect
it's Western Australia, Queensland, Victoria, birth, deaths, and marriages.
That would be my guess too. But it's a kind of fun little set of acronyms there.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Ask Ian.
Yes, Ian.
he did the first one, so I'm pretty sure we can do that. Just put a message on that space page, or write Ian, or write me, so I can forward it to him. Yeah. Or maybe I'll do it. We'll see. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely doable, Susie. And Susie has another question. She says she'll definitely use the location category creator for German locations, but unfortunately, many Australian locations have no Wikipedia entry. What happens when there's no Wikipedia page?
Okay, also not in the English Wikipedia.
Really?
Okay. I don't know. That is probably the implication. So I would say reach out to me. Maybe we can find another place. Maybe there is some locations database for Australian places or something. So we could try that as well, maybe.
Okay. Sounds good.
Always, the idea is always reach out to us. Maybe
That's
we
right.
find a solution.
If you don't ask, then you're never going to say yes, right? But if you ask, it might happen. So that's good. Well, you and Ian are very flexible and very helpful, and you create solutions very quickly, much quicker than I create apps. So that's very impressive.
Thank you. But yours yours have more appeal and visual and lines. And
well,
buttons and
when
stuff.
they work, you should see the latest one I was trying to work on and still isn't quite right. But that's another story for another broadcast. Anyways, thank you. This has been a wonderful hour together. Thank you for taking us through the WikiTree B extension flow. I think many people don't realize that it's still there because, you know, so often we use the WikiTree browser extension, but yeah, don't give up on WikiTree B. There's some really neat stuff there. So
the B is not dead.
The B is not dead, not at all. And you know what? Flo gave me a couple links to throw in the chat, which I didn't do, so I'm going to do them right now. So these are links to the there we go.
Profiles we worked on. So feel free to expand them.
Yes. So he wants to. Let's copy that link. So the ones that he showed that need a little bit of TLC, if you're interested in tweaking them and fixing them up, go for it. That'd be great. Because Flo's not doing this presentation again, so he doesn't need them in the current state. Might as well make them WikiTree perfect. Thank you again, Flo, and thanks everyone else.
My pleasure.
We're taking an hour break on the tech channel right now, but come back at 6 o'clock. Well, come back in 1 hour and 3 minutes for the Hacktoberfest wrap up and Appapalooza. And then the next hour after that, Rob Pavey is going to be talking about the WikiTree Sourcer. And you'll want to do that because we'll have all 3 extensions with extended coverage today. So that's very exciting. But the Hacktoberfest wrap up is in 1 hour. And right now I am leaving to go to the main stage to do a session on mathematics and genealogy. So I'm hoping I'll see some of you over there. So have a great WikiTree day and enjoy the rest of it. See you soon.